Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody is not aware of this is a journey with investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a review and update of our recent space chat with Erin Arvedlund. I'm also going to be looking at Nexbridge hydrocarbons and a new legal update shared, and also some recent communication from the company as well. And then we're going to be finished off by doing a review of the weekly watch list. So before we get started, I'd like to give a shout out here to Ryan McCacken, who's just written an article with regard to the money supply. So let's see what this may mean for the markets. And the headline here is the money supply has plummeted in the biggest drop since the Great Depression. So if we look at the chart at the bottom here, we can see in terms of what the article is showing that 2022, the money supply percentage year-on-year change has declined very significantly, and I think one of the reasons for this is we are now becoming a cashless society with the use of contactless credit cards, mobile phone applications. Normally when the money supply goes down, this is a strong indication that inflation is on its way down. We have been seeing good movements down in inflation. However, unfortunately, we have not seen a reflection of that in monetary policy and interest rates. But I think there is a good chance that interest rates may have peaked. So if this trend continues, I'm hoping that fears of a recession are now in the past, and we can see signs of a much better market. If you didn't get a chance to join us in our live space chat with Erin Arvedlund, I have added a recording of this, and I'll also add the link in the description below. But we did get in excess of 1,000 people turning up, and I think so far we've now had very close to 4,000 people listening. But what I would also like to do right now is first of all thank Erin Arvedlund for listening to us and also giving up some of her time, and hopefully she can be part of our journey in the resolution of MMTLP. I would also like to thank many of the speakers, including Curtis, for an outstanding contribution as a co-host, as well as that TizWaz23, and also special thanks to some of the outstanding guest speakers, including Richard Hoffman, Drew, Syntax, Gandalf, Anna Trades, which I think Erin was certainly impressed with Anna as well. Tony, as always, with excellent information in terms of the shorts. Patrick from MMTLP Studios, and I think Hollywood Henry also provided a very useful insight, and I think we also had other contributions from Russ as well. So thank you very much to everyone who helped in that. So now shout out to Winner, who's reviewed, and he stated, just finished listening, wow, very good space call, Ali, thank you, and all the speakers. Also shout out here to Marduk, who's tagged in Patrick B.E.T. David, and stated, please have John Berder on your space to discuss MMTLP, hashtag release the blue sheets. We have been supported by Charles Payne, John Stewart, now David Lauer as well, and also James O'Keefe. So obviously an advisor to FINRA himself. We're talking about David Lauer there, and obviously referring to the recent space chat that we've just had with Erin as well. And the other thing I would like to give a final shout out here is to Patrick, who was also on the space chat. So Patrick Keaveney is behind the MMTLP studio, so go ahead and check this channel out. I would also urge you to subscribe and check out some of the videos, especially the one below. I have gone and listened to the video for Danielle, who's recorded a very moving testimonial, so go ahead and check that out. These are all good people, and who've had their savings drained and taken away by obviously the U3 halt. So shout out here to MMTLP Studios. I'm now going to share with you a post that I just added earlier on today, and this is tagging in Joe Biden, and Joe Biden was talking about proposing a new rule making it mandatory for all US airlines to compensate people with meals, hotels, taxis, rebooking fees, cash miles. So he is very, very worried about people losing money with complications in their flight. However, after tagging in I've also, before I look at my post, what Joe has said is it matters for hard-working families. But what I think also matters, it also matters when a company sells airline tickets that don't belong to them, sells fake airline seats, also sells more airline seats than are available. It also matters for hardworking families when people buying these seats never get their flight. That's something that you have to work out yourself, Joe Biden, and what that means. And the other post that Joe added here is a default would erase millions of jobs, trigger a recession, hit retirement accounts and increase borrowing costs. So he seems to be worried about people losing jobs. He seems to be worried about retirement, and he said it's not an option. But what I've said is, Mr. President, also look at the regulation of your financial markets, and in particular FINRA. We have mismanagement and conflicts of interest. These have led to thousands of innocent US retail investors losing jobs, savings, livelihoods and retirement accounts. You need to fix this, and this is also not an option. And the next shout out here is to Hands of Steel. Hands of Steel was due to be on the space, but unfortunately wasn't able to make it, but he has now provided us with a legal update. So let's have a look at the update from Hands of Steel. Stated here, with regard to the lawsuit against E-Trade, there is an update. The attorney is asking him to dismiss them from the case because they have an arbitration clause. They want to enforce against me. FINRA hired expensive lawyers from Kings and Spalding. So obviously FINRA have got the cash to do this. K&S is also one of the top firms in Atlanta. More updates to come. So it looks like FINRA are taking every single piece of action against them very seriously by hiring the best and most expensive lawyers, such as Kings and Spalding. So shout out here also to Mark, who's responded to Hands of Steel with a little bit of advice, saying arbitration clauses are usually mandatory and can be enforced. One way around that is to prove that your brokerage agreement is void and unenforceable. Federal courts have held that it is, if the contract is void, every provision is void, including an arbitration clause. So it looks like potential breach of contract there. And the next legal update is from Richard. So go ahead and check out Richard's channel, which is Not Legal Advice. He's got an update in terms of fidelity, infidelity, by fidelity, start of arbitration and recap. And finally, shout out here to Unusual Wales, who've also talked about the DTCC. So let's see what they're saying about the DTCC. So there's an allegation here. They have been leaking sensitive trading data, surprise, surprise, and is selling data that sophisticated traders can use to profit at the expense of more traditional investors. The way I read that is they've been selling it to hedge funds, possibly brokers and dealers, possibly the shorts, at the expense of retail investors. And the next shout out I'd like to give is to Jennifer, who's had correspondence from the company directly from Clifton as well. So the next shout out I'd like to give is to Jennifer, who's provided another update from the company. So message here from Clifton DeBose, who stated, Jason said he won't have those FAQs until this weekend, and it doesn't look like we'll get press release out until next week too. So just letting you know. So it's good to get a line of communication there. And one of the things I'd like to say is there are also many people working behind the scenes who may not be well known in the MMTLP community, but I'd like to now give a shout out again to my friend Buddy, who's been featured before. Buddy has sent approximately 3,500 emails to all of the FINRA staff, and the good news is he has received one message back. Again, he's also been emailing over the past few months, and in other developments from Buddy is that he's had contact with a Barron's reporter as well, so hopefully we get some good news back from there. And finally, I'd like to give a shout out here to the weekly watch list that is available exclusively to the Discord members prior to trading on the Monday. So this week we looked at CVNA, that was up 15% on the week, FFIE, That was up 24% Monday, 25% Monday, and also up 13% on the week. So congratulations to everybody who made significant profits in that. OMI, after Monday's dip, also closed up 7% on the week. FUBO we were looking at, that was up in excess of 7.5%. STRR, that was up approximately 15% on the Monday, but it and also closed up 2% on the week, so a good idea to take profits on the Monday. MORF was up 3.4% on the week. GLMD, that was an extremely volatile stock with 10 opportunities to get gains between 4 and 9%. However, on the week it was down 10%, so remember, not all calls are successful. AGBA, there was a good chance of getting 12% on Monday before it went down, closing 14% down on the week. So again, if you'd like to get the next weekly watch list, details are available in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.